Not even Brock.
Who?
I would say, who's the Ash one?
I hate Brock, dude. For being a clean Pharaoh.
So what did you guys play for Havana on this map?
Probably Babson.
I
Yeah,
played
I know,
Zen and Mercy.
Okay, and did you only play Bap? Last?
Probably only Bap.
Okay. Let me know when you both are in the stream.
What is the screen right now?
Yeah, for real, dude. Look at that shit. It's so fucking weird.
It's Naeem's like zoomed in, bro.
Yep.
Like a freaking hyper speed out here.
Who are we watching first?
It doesn't matter. You guys can pick between you two.
I don't care.
Well, what other map are you watching? I feel like I didn't do very well.
Whatever this scrim is, well, that's good. That means it's more stuff for me to look at.
No, but, like,
I don't know what the other maps are. I only know the codes. So
my two best games were this one and King's Row. And I mean, I like when you look at my good games because then you can tell me stuff I don't already know.
Okay, then we'll look at you for this one, and then we'll do Las for the other one, I guess.
Okay. So I will say I kind of felt like I was doing nothing on Zen. I don't think I used trance the whole game, by the way. So yeah.
Okay, who's the third person watching? Are you watching? Okay, weird.
Some name. Or I mean, I'm one of them.
Okay, this is on 144. Wow.
Is it you? Is it you? I'm not talking to you. It's Plaz.
No, it's not. Bingo!
Wait.
Okay.
Start? Mine is not loading. Hold on.
I did, but I'm gonna rewind it anyway.
Oh, is the one? No.
Okay, let me know when you both are good.
Yeah,
Should be.
You're a Democrat?
Hey,
How
Tusk.
dare you?
Hey Tusk. Shut the fuck up. I don't even think I've really played it that much.
I have never played it.
My life is Overwatch, dude.
It's probably worse than FIFA. Are you talking like a 70s gangster?
Shut the fuck up. We're not talking about FIFA. We're not talking about what was it again? Fallout. I know what Fallout. I know what it is. I forgot what we were talking about. Very uneducated. It is. You're right. I'm just not a big fan of it. Either way, first mistake, you need to charge up a volley, or try to charge up a volley, and then go out the right door to spam something down the choke.
Wait.
This is just
gonna... Are you playing? Is it like going?
Yeah, it's just 7 seconds behind.
Okay.
So make sure you set up that first volley. You're not looking. I don't know what you're looking at. You're doing a whole lot of nothing here. Okay.
Well, I don't know if they had a widow.
Harmony for the most part should be on whoever's playing the most aggressive and far forward. Good poke spam. For the most part, Las should be the one healing. Bulk, you're just putting basically what your Harmony does. Is you put it on the most aggressive person to enable him to push even further, even with just a little bit more healing. Fine. Let them out. You should shoot through the amp matrix more. Make sure you're calling out discords. What is this aim?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep, you good. You go for that. Okay, you should be on cart. Laz should be pushing forward.
No one can hide from my sight.
You're worrying about Harmony too much. Like I said, just keep it on the person who's being most aggressive, and then just focus on doing damage. Good. Stuck around that a little bit too long. Since we're playing on point, if you wanted to take another off angle, so if you wanted to rotate up here,
Top.
either up here or kind of where Chase is playing on that what do you call those? The wood thing? Pallets. There we go. If you want to stand by one of the pallets and shoot from there, that's fine, but you don't need to be up close and on your tanks to do any healing. You are close to trance, but as long as you're staying relatively close, so we're right where Laz is right now, it should be fine, just because if they do decide to flux or window, you can pop out with trance instantly and jump towards your team. But you don't need to be right on them. You want to be taking as many angles as you can to make sure you're getting that consistent damage. And again, you shouldn't be on. Well, you should be on cart, but at this, okay. When your team is pushing up aggressively, you should be on cart. When you get, specifically for this map, once you start pushing through here, Lash, and you're staying on cart, Lash should be on cart, and you should be taking another angle, just because he can reposition easier than you can. For Zen, it's making sure you're in the right position at all times, because that's his biggest thing to worry about compared to other supports where Mercy can Guardian Angel out, Lucio has speed to get out, Ana has sleep to some degree. You're the most vulnerable support, so you need to play your positioning perfectly.
Is Zen positioning like is it more similar to? Well, I mean, it is similar to Ana, but is it not like the same as Ana?
I think it's a little bit more different, just because, and for the most part, yeah, it's more aggressive, and you're doing more damage. That's about it. I would trance this. Keep your Discord on. Okay, so when you trance, make sure you keep your Discord on something and then trance, so that, and make sure the Discord is on whoever the most likely person is that you need to kill. So,
did you trance the sickle?
No, not the sickle. The Bob or what was the other thing? The Ant Matrix that they popped out. Either way, probably Chu wouldn't have died, and even if you guys win this fight without having to use trance, the odds of them popping Sigil, Ant Matrix, Torball, and Bob is going to be very unlikely for you to win the fight without you using trance. Basically, what you're doing is you're trying to even out the alt advantage here. So they use all 4 of those alts. If you pop trance, you're negating a lot of that damage.
I hold trance.
Yeah, which you probably shouldn't have here. After Chu dies, you're down 1. Both immortality fields are out. Bob dies. Your team is looking relatively healthy, but even if I would still probably throw it. Make sure you throw a Discord on someone and then pop trance, and whoever that person is, that person needs to be focused while you're in trance, because for both beat and trance, that's basically the go button for you guys to be more aggressive, because you have that wealth of healing. You're allowed to play more aggressive into the team. And Laz, you are watching, I'm assuming, correct? Okay, good, because this definitely will apply to you as well. Yeah, so like I said, you probably would have been able to win that fight if you would have popped trance. Because, I mean, what else are you going to save it for? I mean, you didn't have to use it for Sigalt because nobody was really in position to follow that up, and you used Lamp for it anyway. But then they threw Bob, they threw Amp, and they threw Molten Core at you. So, I mean, besides Supercharger, you're not really saving it for much else.
I think I kind of realized, like, after I did that I should...
Good, I like this side angle from you. You still get to use Bongo. A little late on the journey. So Discord, there you go. Okay, you can also use Discord, just for future reference, as a, as basically like, Infrasight or, Sonic Arrow. So even if you throw Discord on someone, still call where their positioning is. So let's say if you throw it on, either their Tracer or maybe their Widow, and they reposition, you can still be able to keep it on them before you transition it over to someone else, just to know where they're positioned.
Yeah, I did that to a call here in a little bit. He went like behind.
Yep.
I didn't. Just kind of stayed back there, so follow him.
Okay, also comp-wise, with the supports we're running against their comp, their shield should not exist with what supports we're running. Zen is the most obviously the most DPS heavy support, so if you're not doing anything or you have no one to shoot, just break shields. Because yep. Okay, if you're gonna position anywhere, this is, I mean, third point is a very heavy Widow map. Make sure you're not just standing out and open like this, because all the Widow has to do is come out that right door that I'm looking at straight through the crack, and pop you in the head, pop up top left, do a jump shot from top right, all the different kind of things.
Yeah, I didn't know they had a Widow at that point.
So make sure that when you're positioning, don't position out in the open. Either you can poke from right here, if you wanted to, poke this angle, or you can just stay at this corner where your team is. Either way. Yep, start backing. Yep, yep. Again, you're out in the open, yeah, you're just begging for the Widow.
He got fucked.
Kinda, yeah. So against the Tracer, for the most part, what you should be doing anytime she comes in at you like that, instantly discord her, and it's honestly, it's, for the most part, it's not up to you to be able to defend against that. I mean, it kind of is, but basically what I'm saying, to completely negate what she's doing, Las just has to pocket you. If not, then you're throwing the discord on her and you're trying to force recall enough to buy you enough time for your team to peel for you, or you just straight up kill the Tracer. Either way. Again, you are just giving no fucks about this Widow. You could even charge a volley and keep spamming that. Like, you sitting here not even doing anything is giving so much downtime to that you could be using for other things, like spamming that Widow. Honestly, just spamming chokes or areas that you think someone's gonna pop at you. Out of 10 times, maybe 2 of those times, you either get a kill or you get good, consistent damage on someone. So constantly be doing that. There's something you could be doing. Huh?
You do want me to peek the Widow.
Peek the Widow, but do it safely. Jiggle peek, switch angles, that kind of thing. Don't just stand in the open like you have been doing for the last point of third.
I'm not right now.
Or not doing anything like when I hit play, what you're doing.
Right here, I was waiting for his shields.
Right, but okay, even if all it takes,
wait, and then
all it takes for you to peek this, even if you're hiding like this, okay, you charge up a full volley, Peek out, launch, come back. That's all you have to do. You're not peeking for long, but the only way she's going to get that headshot in time is if she's watching that angle at all times. That's the only way she's going to be able to get that pick. And with 6 people out in the field, most likely she's not going to be able, not going to be peeking that, and is instead going to be trying to either kill the DPS, put consistent damage on the things. I wouldn't have switched here. You probably could have kept with this.
Yeah, someone told me. Probably Ian.
Oh yeah, probably.
A speedy recovery.
Observe the barrier.
Don't back up. Just keep walking forward and AD strafe. Okay, you got to think about the angles that you're walking around here. Even like so, you're standing right here walking around. All the Widow has to do is again peek that, and you're dead. Like when you're healing or damage boosting, even if it's like someone right in front of you, just hide behind something. Even if the Tracer comes up right behind you, you most likely should be fine, unless you're completely slow reaction and don't react fast enough. Nothing should be happening to you.
I'm right here. I am trying to hide.
Yeah. Okay. I'll show you what I mean. There you go.
Like from that.
Playing there, playing there, dead. Dead.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, small things like that. Genuinely is nitpicking,
like,
but
usually can't see like that harsh of an angle. Like they
they're
usually
looking for
see
it
in front of it.
still. I mean, that's not that harsh of an angle though. Like you were still out for at least 2 seconds that they could have.
Yeah, but you have to be like hanging right on the like side of that.
Sure, but even if.
And then I don't know. That's how most Widows play in my experience. They can't really see you until you push up past that there.
Good res, that was safe.
Let them up.
Damage increase.
Again, you want to hide from angles more from the Widow than the ball. Well, not again, but hide from. You want to hide from the Widow more than you want to hide from a ball. Damage boost, damage boost, damage boost, damage boost, damage boost.
30 seconds.
That was ballsy. Okay, good res.
Let's play on it here.
Laz, you didn't need to jump to the low ground, by the way. You could have just stayed.
I didn't mean to. I was trying to. I thought there was a ledge on the outside.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to like, land on that, but then I didn't realize there wasn't one there.
Stop doing stuff like that. Even if it makes you much harder to hit, you're putting yourself out in the open for the BAP, for the Orisa, for the ball, for the Widow to hit you.
I'll throw something in here. I would say, I think I saw on Zen you were like shooting the Widow that one time, and you like started crouch like ADSing or whatever, spamming. I swapped my crouch to L3 on most heroes, kind of for that reason. Just crouch spamming in general, because it's instead of having to take your thumb off like the right stick, you can, or go claw, you can just crouch with your left finger.
Another thing, thank you for saying something like that. So I don't know if you know this, but when you're charging a volley for Zen, so you asked you asked if you should or should not peek the Widow, right? There's a way you can modify your hitbox. When you charge a volley, automatically when Zen throws his orbs, he ducks his head, right? So what you could be doing when you peek that, most Widows, even if they know exactly where you are, as soon as you pop around that corner, launch your volley, like I said, Zen does this crouch thing with his head, but if you press crouch at the same time, it even modifies it more. So they're basically you're moving your regular hitbox on Zen another head down. Does that make sense? So that's another way you could be peeking that. That's a very small thing, but if you're worried about peeking the Widow, that's a good way to negate that. Sorry, I can't move off 2 right now.
What?
There we go. Keep damage boosting McCree, you don't need to touch your tanks.
Let's get you that out
Good.
there. Stop now. Damage boost engaged.
Let them up.
Okay, with where the Widow and Hanzo are poking, if you just want to stand where Gecko is and pocket them from there, the tanks aren't pushing forward past that green box. You can just sit there the whole time. If they start to push you, then you start to back up. But with the angles that the snipers are holding, it's going to be hard for you to be able to move around freely against good snipers that are going to hit those shots when you're by the lamppost, when you're by the car. See, like, again, that Widow could have probably headshotted you right there, but not good enough, I guess. Yep, start backing. I would... Okay, I'm not saying Valky's a throwaway ult. I want to see where everyone is, actually. One dead. Two's coming back. Yeah, okay, never mind. I was going to say, you could pop Valk just to touch point and contest while your team starts to come back. That wouldn't be a worst idea, especially if Gecko gets this kill. Yeah, I don't think you would have made it either way. Never mind.
I must go where I'm needed.
Hello. Let me show you how it's done. Thanks. Put it on my tab.
By the way, I don't think you should put Gek on McCree when we're running the Widow. Either put him on Hanzo or Torb.
Okay.
This is where
Because I'm assuming you did it for the Tracer.
Chases me and Gekki the whole time. It's kind of funny.
What you said?
I'm assuming you put him on Kree for the Tracer.
Yeah, I think I said I just said like pick from McCree, Torb, and Hanzo, and he picked McCree.
Okay. One projectile just fits him more.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he's not a good Kree, but I would almost place money that Hanzo and Torb are probably better than his Kree. And if you pick the Torb, one that gives you more shield pressure against their Rhine and their Sig, especially if they push in,
so.
and it helps with the Tracer.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Alright, I got you.
Good. Don't worry about healing them, you just focus on Geku.
Sigma and Geku had a fucking battle entire last.
No one can hide from my sight.
Okay, he's gonna drop Shatter in a second. If we don't block it, you pop Valk.
Where does it hurt? Damage increase.
Jesus. You weren't wrong. But by Sig focusing on the McCree and Mercy, he's also pulling both of your attentions away from the rest of your team. Unlucky, but ooh, good lamp.
Yeah, that was really close. I think we will do, don't we? I believe so.
Yeah. Chase had a good angle on him.
Geki with the hard flank.
Yeah, for real.
Damage increase.
Called out the Widow was.
Yeah.
No, I said she was. I didn't say one. I said she was low, like low ground.
Well,
I said
no,
she's mid low ground.
Geku said she was.
Where does it hurt?
Oh.
That was it.
Oh. Okay. I thought you were referring to the time where I said she was low ground and you said you interpret that as low and died.
Yeah, that was Hanimer.
Damage was engaged.
Whoop. Did neither of you see this bitch? Okay, I was gonna say, like,
I saw him.
both of you just kind of looked at him, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
I saw him. Here's the Sigma chief.
Well, you guys were kind of in their backline, basically. Yep, spread from your McCree.
Damage was engaged.
Okay, you didn't need to go over to heal the Orisa. Las was right next to him. Just stick with your Kree and damage boost him. Okay, as soon as you see Laz uses regen burst, you don't need to heal him anymore. He's fine. Unless he's getting pressured hard, but he wasn't.
Right beside you.
60 seconds remaining.
Maintaining connection.
Don't do that.
I'm with
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
you. I'm taking care of you.
Much obliged.
I need a healing.
Good. Good.
This is not the end.
Let them out. What is that melody?
Don't need to heal. Damage boost. Damage boost. Not your Widow, your Kree.
Your support has arrived.
Grey wood.
10 seconds.
Just pop wings.
Heroes never die.
You probably should have popped wings earlier once you flew to the Orisa where Neem is, where I paused it. But again, you won the fight anyway. It's nitpicking.
Resting.
Where does it hurt?
Okay, on Zen, you need to stop worrying about where you're placing your Harmony Orb. Just keep it on whoever's playing the most aggressive and far forward, but most of the time it's going to be your tanks. And make sure you're charging up volley shots more. You weren't really damaging anything throughout that. Like,
Yeah, that's.
besides throwing your
I
Harmony,
didn't feel like I did much.
no, because besides throwing Harmony and Discord out, you didn't put any. This might sound harsh, but you really didn't contribute anything besides Harmony and Discord out, and that's about it.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I didn't feel like I did well this game.
Make sure you're poking or sending volleys down chokes that you think someone's going to be coming through. For example, like where that Widow was posted on third, straight down the bridge, where I talked about positioning either below or the high ground of that small cutout of the building right to your right. Those are just examples, but make sure you're spamming those chokes. If you can't do any meaningful, consistent damage to anyone, break shields. Make sure you're calling out discords. For the most part, this is specifically talking about the meta that we're in now, which is double shield, double flex support. For example, when they use Amp Matrix, if you don't have Sig ult, then you should probably be using your trance. When Bob comes out, make sure you discord the Bob and then you trance, just so everyone can burn them down quickly while you're in trance. Even if they land a good tour ball, again, do it if they don't use anything else, use it then. You were just being really passive with when you used it. Did you play Zen any other time in the scrim?
Yes, I played him in 3 maps.
Okay. Then we might go over another one for you since that map was really short and it's basically for both of you anyway.
I played Lucio and Zen. I liked that game, I think.
Okay, you can do that one.
Now enter King
Oh my gosh. You have so many important people.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. I'm nuts.
Just a bit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Defend objective A.
We'll just go through the attack on this, and then we'll switch over to you, Les. Okay, make sure when we're using amp, you're calling, give it a countdown, and make sure that everyone is ready to do this, because when you use amp in a brawl comp, everyone has to be going at the same time. It can't be, like we pop speed and people are still hesitant to go in. When we pop amp, everyone needs to go in. This is more team and kind of you, but making sure.
Yeah, I'm not very good at calling.
Yeah, making sure when you pop, amp for speed, you're calling go, 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 that kind of thing.
Yep.
I think you're playing too high, especially since they have that Hanzo. He can just flick and hit you. For the most part, you can just play behind the Rhine shield. You might not get consistent, meaningful damage but you have to be wall riding so high that you're actually hitting shots over, which puts you in more risk than might get you any reward for it. Good amp on the Rhine. Keep it on heals. Because I don't think Las is alive. Okay, I don't know why the fuck he didn't fucking shield.
Yep.
We don't need the speed on them like that. We don't have a full 6 or even a full 5. Should just wait. Make sure you're speeding your Rhine back.
Yeah, I thought their team wasn't gonna come back.
Boop them away once they hit a shatter like that. Make sure you get Chew out since he is high charge. That's kind of unlucky, but...
Yeah,
He honestly just ran straight in. Yeah, basically.
I was trying to get him out.
Was this? No, this was map 1. We lost the first map.
No, this is map 2, I think. You win this map, it's just Legion, and you lost.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good, you keep it on speed just to make sure everyone gets out. Switch to heals, switch to heals. Okay, good. Don't need to amp here. Okay, yep, go speed your Ryan back. Okay, those are the kind of wall jumps I want you to be doing. I know this is a very, very small thing, but
yo,
like
the change feels crazy, by the way.
I haven't even used it.
What change?
So okay, so this wall right there, I don't want you doing that. This one, I don't want you doing that. The one off the bus, those are the kind of wall rides you should be doing when you're trying to get back to somewhere fast. Or like the last ones on the way back to point, like those.
Oh, I see.
So not the ones where you're like sticking on the wall for more than like 0.2 seconds. You want to just be flicking onto it on and off.
I'm definitely still like.
Yeah, again, this is just minimal, tiny stuff to work on, but it will increase your speed a lot faster.
Yeah, I'm still trying to learn all the fucking rollouts. Oh wait, the.
Beat this. Good. No, I'm fine with that beat. That was good. So this is, you probably know this, I don't know, but when you do beat, you do get that extra height. Every time I explain this to someone, I think it's funny because I think of a Overwatch League clip where on Horizon First Point, the Lucio tried to touch point, and he tried to get just a little bit more verticality by using beat to get that little extra height, and he completely missed point with the beat. Everyone died on point. He didn't even get the touch, but but it was like an inch, like he missed. But either way, you still get that verticality. So when you're dropping beat, to make sure you are hitting that, if you jump up on a very small, like basically like a step. So if you think payload. Or not necessarily payload. So unless you're
that's why I did it there.
Right.
Was so that it would go
Right.
off.
That was a good example. But I'm thinking more like when you're touching ground and you have to use beat. If you think of Nepal Sanctum, that there's a little lip right next to the stairs on 2 point. That if you pop beat, you can make that height, and doing that, the time from when you press triangle to when the beat goes off becomes a lot shorter compared to you standing on, a flat surface and popping beat.
I think it was against Thorny on Hanamura. Their Lucio tried to get back, like he got moved off the edge, and he tried to cast beat to get back up on the on the ledge from the pit, and he died. It's pretty funny.
I mean, you still jumped a little bit too high there. You could have just from when Shatter went off, you could have just propped alt and then did it. That's not why I rewinded it though. So right here, when the McCree and the Zarya are trying to back up, when we're talking about the aggro plays that I want you to start trying to do, you already have won this fight. Even if you die, you're going to have a faster respawn than they are. If you wall ride to the left, look behind them, and boop them into your team, it makes them much easier to follow up on. Those are the kind of more aggressive plays that make a really good Lucio a really good Lucio. So like I said, right there you just dropped down. You could have kept going forward. The Zarya might have been able to track you, but most likely she would have probably messed up her aim. You boop them forward. Chu is able to follow up with his damage.
Yeah, I was just worried because I was pretty sure that McCree had a flash again. So.
Right. Either way, but those small plays is what I'm saying for being aggro, is those kind of things.
Yeah.
Okay, with the Lucio Moira, Laz, you should be touching cart, which you are. I'm just stating it just in case it's in question. But I say that is just because when you're pushing far forward and somebody is starting to take a lot of damage, you need the Lucio to speed you guys back out instead of using amp for heals. Okay, as soon as we make the trade like that, we know they have a Mercy. We need to go in while that Mercy is rezzing to capitalize on the fact that basically they're 2 down for a good 2-3 seconds while the Mercy is casting their res, if that makes sense. So yes, good speed, amp forward. Unlucky name died, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I think because he's a ball player, he doesn't really know when
I mean, he's learning
ball
Ryan.
means that he should put his shield up.
Yeah, he's learning Ryan. It's fine.
Yeah. He does it on Orisa. His shield goes down and he just stays there. Critical.
Okay, this fight's already dead. You just need to back up, so amp speed to get everyone out. Nope, that trade doesn't. It shouldn't. Or we pop ults and win. Alright.
Yeah, I was calling for them to come back.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I
just kept going.
In general, I thought that was a fine decision, but I mean we committed more ults and won the fight with it, which is also fine.
Yeah, Neem got a fat shot.
Yeah. I was like, please come back, and I just hear it hammer down.
If you wanted to get some more poke damage to be more aggro, so where I pause that top right high ground, if you can get a rollout to get on top of there, definitely do that as soon as, even before you cap point. If you know you're gonna cap point without any contestation, start speeding towards that and get on that high ground just to poke from their spawn doors. You probably could have beat up if you did that. Good shatter from them. Unlucky. Yep. That was 5 ult, 4 ults? Jesus. Don't eat fire strikes, they don't. And Name and Chew probably would have been able to play more aggressively and take this corner here. Don't lead with the boop until it's more of a kill on the BAP. Good boop. Yeah, that's big behind him. Yeah, you could have used beat right when they popped that Ant Matrix and grab. You might have been able to cap with more time. It's just those small things that you're maximizing the most amount of time you can on the hero, on any hero that you're playing, and that's one of those interactions that you could have been. Laz, do you want to finish King's Row on you, or do you want to do a different one? What do you play the rest of this map, if you remember?
Probably BAP. I think we played BAP's in.
Let me know if my stream goes out.
Alright. Definitely happy about the fact that
So, to make healing a little bit easier for you, if you want to post up in the top windows, specifically where I paused it to the top right, it's just going to make it easier to heal for you, and it's more out of sight, especially for where you're playing. If your team starts to move past this corner and out of your LOS, that's when you drop down to move forward. But for the most part, unless a Widow takes the most ballsy flank against Chase, most of the time you're not going to get pressured at all, and you're still going to be able to heal your team from where you are. Map specific, but can apply to other maps. Didn't really need to use regen burst right there. So BAP's healing nades, when you're throwing them, you don't have to be shooting at their feet for the most part. If they're that close, especially on tanks, you most likely will be able to heal them if you're pointing right at them. So I mean, for the most part, getting the directs for those healing nades, even if you miss like a little bit, it'll still do it'll still do more healing than hitting them at the feet and potentially not getting the full heal on them. The regen burst there is fine. His shield breaks. I was gonna say you could pop lamp here. Yeah, I would pop. Yeah, good.
It's got a fat delay now, by the way.
How delayed? What time is it for you right now?
Like 3:15.
Oh fuck. Okay. Exit out of the stream and then re-enter it.
Alright.
For both of you. Let me know when you're back in. Yeah, my PS4 said it was internet quality is not sufficient to stream or something like that. So that's why I was asking if stream went down.
3:58 now.
Yep. Okay.
You pause there.
I can't see my stream went till 1:44 p.m. But
yeah. Well. Let me know when you guys are there.
What was it?
Yeah.
What? 2:58.
2:58.
I think that's what it says. Just go on.
Good, yeah, now you're starting to take the high ground a little bit more. So, do you see what I mean by it's easier to hit shots on BAP? Or you easily understand?
You mean from high ground?
Yeah, compared to looking straight at someone. Because of how the arc is, it's an up and then it's down, or like a rainbow kind of arc. Just shooting straight at them, or shooting straight at them has more potential for you to miss compared to on high, where if you're shooting them, for the most part, it's going to be on the ground, on them, or directly almost at them.
Yeah, I think generally the reason I would play like where I am right now, top right, in the window is because I can't see them for like extra shield break. But that's probably the biggest reason.
Heal, don't damage. Do you know the thing that you can do where you can primary and then heal nade right after?
I mean, probably.
Okay, I can show you after, but there's a small tech that you can do that. Don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure this is right, but you can double check me later if you want. I don't care. That if you shoot and then heal nade, it's still the same amount of time it would take for you to heal. Like, so if you're straight healing, yeah. So like,
yeah, I got you.
So if you're healing the whole time versus heal, shoot, I think that's the same amount of healing that comes out either way. So even if you're not hitting anyone with your primary and you're just shooting those heal nades, yes, it's more risky, especially if, let's say, that person you're healing dies and somebody starts to rush you and you don't have any ammo in your primary. Yeah, it's more risky for that kind of play, but
situational.
But for when you're healing someone, even if you're still doing that burst and it's not hitting anything, the likelihood of, let's say, a tank walking by while you're healing your tank, so in a Ryan v Ryan, you're still going to hit them. So I would say at least 5 times out of 10. Okay, we lose this fight, I'm pretty sure.
Team up for special attack.
Nope, okay, never mind. I thought we died. Oh, we died when Gaku dies, I think.
It just unpaused, by the way.
I'm at 133.
I'm at 150.
Jesus.
It's fine.
Okay. Well, eventually I'll try to be more specific to times when I say something.
No one can hide from my sight.
So, because you have Amp Matrix, this is the time where I say don't take high ground, and play with the tanks where they are right now when I paused, just so you can place Matrix down when they start to push in, because again, that's Matrix is like Bongo in the sense that you need to pop it at the perfect time that they're either forced to commit to the fight or they can't back up. So it basically using that ult is either they're forced to commit and die, or they're forced to commit and use ult to enable that commitment. Okay, this is the fight we lose, I think. No, actually, I think it was overtime. Oh. Where the fuck was that grab?
There.
Oh, bad trance, by the way, we didn't need that.
Yeah, I thought that the grab was in the dragon.
Oh, okay.
Or wait, no, I tried to trans to get across the map, but then the grab dropped and I got stuck in it and I couldn't save or died.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was kind of a dumbass grab from Ben.
Yes, I just tried to...
Don't shoot a Sigma when he's sucking. So, right here, that's when I pop Ant Matrix. A little bit too far back, but that's fine. Big shatter from him.
I'm at 30 seconds.
Oh, sorry. You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, just back up. Overtime when just back up. Maddie, make sure you throw heal orb on Las. At least in this point, just because he's the bulk of your damage or your heals. I told Geku, Chase, and Sunless this, or well, Geku and Chase. Where we're holding at the bookstore, we can't hold here. We need to push up to the other choke.
Like the archway?
Yeah, like the archway. Because holding right here doesn't do as much as holding the archway, because there's certain points on every hybrid map that it's like almost like a point of no return. That if you how do I explain this? So, yes, this is kind of niche, and it's kind of switching to a different topic, but 3 on cart doesn't matter unless you're past a certain point for hybrid map or escort maps. For King's Row specifically, right where you're standing, this is where the point of no return is. If you have 3 on cart, either you're going to get a fight against the defense where it's a staggered fight where one person has to touch, that person dies, and then more people come, or they can't touch at all. This is where you're standing is where that point is on King's Row. So holding the first arch guarantees you a second fight on second point. Compared to right here where you're not going to get another fight after the fight's over next to the bookstore. Lamp. Should have lamped the Ryan, not your Orisa. I know you were trying to keep it around the corner, but... And that was at 140. That's a good trance. Yep, just regen burst. Oh, yeah, that was looking in the face of death. Immortality! Oh. Unlucky. Yep, just called a... Never mind, actually.
Your audio is like smaller delay, but the actual VOD is...
That was
right when Chu dies, you should be rotating where he is, not to the right. Honestly, you can make an aggro play here. when the card's about to cap, because most likely you're gonna lose this fight anyway. You're down people. They're being aggro, and like I said, you're down people. If you want to throw Immortality out just for Naeem to start swinging through, that Rhine was low. If you did that play, the Rhine could have died there. Yep, you're just stalling out cart here. I'm lucky with the trap.
attitude positive là.
Okay, I'm just now realizing this, but the Brig swap is not a good swap. If anything, you just stick on Zen, or you either you play Zen, you play Lucio, or you play Mercy. Brig, you're just gonna get fucked by.
Someone called me.
Sure, but against a Doom and a Junk, you're gonna get fucked. Like even though that call was made, we occasionally do this where we call for swaps after we lose a point. It's natural to lose a point in an equally skilled high level, as in it's not like ranked play kind of game. It's natural to lose points like this. Not all the time are you gonna, full hold. Not all the time are you gonna hold them on second. What you were running is fine. It was just it was bad circumstances and you guys taking a fight that you were down in advantages and they were up in advantages. That you lost the fight. I'm not saying this at you, Maddie. I'm just saying this is a team thing.
Oh yeah, no. I also like I said, this whole script. I didn't feel like I was doing anything on Zen, so I wasn't gonna fight.
I think I
didn't feel like.
I will say I think I called for Brig or Mercy here. I said Brig was my idea was for Pax for Chase and Gekyu, and then Doom dive, or when the Doom dives Gekyu for him, and then went just for Chase in general when he's going in. And then
Pax
Mercy
don't
was
do
just...
anything comparatively to a Zen Orb, just because if this was old Brig change, all it does for Brig, it doesn't overheal or it doesn't add the extra armor anymore. Old Brig, yeah, absolutely. You that would define strat makes sense. But since they nerfed her in that way, it's not as good, and that logic kind of is thrown out of the window because of that nerf.
Right.
So
Mercy is, I think also I kind of want her to get off Zen because of the Doomfist, just because she is more squishy for the Doomfist to dive on.
Yeah, that makes
rather
sense.
than a Mercy or something. So
right.
Yeah. But I do think I call swaps frequently when it's just because it's an even fight that we lost. That was just
the way that changes against the Doom is just Maddie needs to adjust positioning so that she plays a little bit further back. So for a specific example, but for when the Doom comes in, he's using every single one of his abilities to dive Maddie. That if he doesn't secure that kill, he just threw. Unless he has all, obviously, but
he does.
right, but in general.
Yeah, I get you saying, yeah.
So if you didn't want to play like that, and I understand, Maddie, in general, you just need more time on Zen. Swapping her to Mercy to do the same thing you wanted her to do on Brig would have been just as good, just because you're saying you're using Brig to throw armor packs for Gekku when you could just have the Mercy beam him. Chase, like I said, I already kind of debunked the over armor for Chase. It doesn't really matter as much.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna do the same thing as what you would think a Brig would. Didn't need the regen burst right there. Good Matrix. I'm fine with that. Lamp, good lamp, massive lamp. Yeah, that's when I would have said use regen burst is when. After that tire came through, but when you were healing like that, you had two shields in front of you, you didn't need to use it. Hopefully, the delay, you can see that.
Yeah, just sort of blind.
So with BAP and his cooldowns, it's important to analyze, especially if you're trying to work on yourself as a BAP player, is to make sure when you're using these cooldowns and you think to yourself, should I have used my cooldown there? Go throughout, like, let's say if you watch your own VODs back, I know not many people will, but in that fight when I was talking about when the tire came through, you didn't need to use the regen burst just because you had shields in front of you. You could have just healed up that way. Maddie could have armor packed you to heal you up. You didn't need to use it there, and instead you could have used it when the tire came through. But just make sure you're, like, if, let's say you're in a ranked game and you're trying to, get better on BAP, what I like to do is when you use this, like a specific cooldown, like Immortality Field, like Regen Burst, kind of run it back through your head, maybe in either in an off fight or after the match is done. If I hadn't used it then, and picture how the fight would have played out if you hadn't used it, and see if there was a better time you would have needed to use it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just more of a self improvement type of thing.
I got you.
There, so he's gonna go for this slam. Good lamp. Actually, that's a good point. I want to see when you use regen burst, because you should have had it for there, and if the Doom was good, he would have been able to kill you. Yeah, look at the health bars as soon as you pop regen burst. I paused it. No one's low. It wasn't really needed. And you would have been able to have it after the flux when that happens. Sure, you still survive with the lamp and everything, but like, look, you jump out of that. If the Doom had looked at you instead, he probably would have killed you.
I got you.
Didn't need regen burst there. I mean, again, at that point, it's fine. They're not going to touch again. At least they didn't. But we could do one more map just because we did half a map for you. What map do you want to do? I have three. I have Busan and Havana, or we can do whatever the 2CP map was.
I really don't care.
Pick, fucker.
What are the options?
Busan, redo the
2CP,
Havana one, Busan, or 2CP. Or one of the maps from the game. So that would be Ilios, Junkertown, Temple, Hollywood, Lijiang.
So, I want to look at Junkertown.
Okay.
Sure. I will say one thing that I saw this a long time ago when I was like, it was like I think it might have been a car key video about just like general BAP like improvement tips. Was like when it comes to like using your abilities with like BAP, be more liberal than conservative with it, because they're so long. Like the faster if the faster you decide to hit it, the quicker it'll be back. And so I think like I definitely like need to work on my burst usage for sure.
Yeah,
but, like I think I overall have the mindset of like, oh, I need to be overall more like more just like, I think it's probably here, so I should just do it rather than like waiting and then waiting too long.
Basically, that mindset is basically dying with an alt. If you were to use that alt, would you be able to turn the fight kind of thing? More what I'm
kind
of
are decent.
Yeah, your lamps. I think your lamps are fine. It's more the regen burst.
Yeah.
There's just been a couple times where
needs work.
Yeah, where you're using it when nobody's low at all. And in those specific situations, you could have used it to top your team back off.
Mindful of it. Yeah. I just need to be more mindful of it.
Yep.
So I think I definitely like decided for myself that I'm gonna use it more liberally. Like if I think I should use it, I should just do it. Because I can get it back faster.
Right. That's fine. I understand that. Just make sure you're using it at the right time when it's necessary.
Yeah, I got you.
This is a team thing. Where this strat is, is not going to work
I know,
here.
holding the left side.
Right, because I mean, just because when the ball touches point, you're forced to. Someone has to touch point, which gives the Widow easy sightlines onto that person, basically.
That's fair.
Compared to holding that right in that room where you can just, you know, step out the room for a second with a Ryan and be good.
I think I just like immediately think that the right side's better because like Mei walling is a lot easier and you can pounce on them a lot faster.
You
But
don't.
I heard you describing it to.
You're not trying to use Mei wall to cut people off.
Yeah,
You're using that
as a
for the
shield.
stall. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I heard you telling Geku and Chase that like it's like even if they swap to Pharah, like it's
It was
harder
the team
so
mod review.
Next time I know what to do.
But,
oh wait, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I know what to do next time.
Yep. Geku and Chase, it was the scrim. Yikes.
Also, the first time you
go ahead, sorry.
The first time we ran this, we ran. You said I think it was. I guess it would have been the team mod review.
Yep.
You said run Chase on Widowmaker and Sunless on Mei.
Yes.
The first time we did it the opposite. Like we did it the way we did it like both times. I don't really know why, but I think it's what Jason called. I think it's because Bob. I think it's probably because Bob is more valuable than Walls, or like I think it is, and so like having a more ult charge on Sunless as Ashe, compared to what Chase's Widowmaker, like, is favorable. So putting him on Mei.
Yes, that it.
I
understand in that sense. But you're in this fight, you're looking for Chase to. He's not supposed to be playing. So if you're looking at the map for this strat, where an Ashe is supposed to play, if you're running it like you're running it now, versus where a Widow should play, Sunless has to play anywhere before this bridge in order to, when he hits shots, do consistent, meaningful damage. Compared to where Chase has to play, which is anywhere from here up. Which allows him to get those picks while you stall card out. Yes, you're losing alt charge on Sunless not getting Bob, but Widow is just such a good character on this map comparatively to Ashe that it still will overvalue Bob just by having, you know, a Chase, which obviously is a good sniper, to be able to hit those shots. Does that make sense?
I got you.
And I don't know if we swap to Lucio after the first point hold. If we...
Yes, we swapped... Wait.
Okay, then...
We swapped Mercy.
Okay, and this, then I wouldn't start on Lucio here. Instead, either you swap to something with bulk heals if you're holding that left side. Specifically because if a Pharah comes out, you're still going to be able to negate her ult... not her ult, her damage. And as soon as you build Cole, that's an extra advantage you can use to close holding like that. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I was going to get this down for next time. For like prime like picks for everyone's Sunless would be on Mei, Chase on Widowmaker.
Yep. Maddie on Moira.
Yeah. Okay. So I so this time I started on Bap. The first time I did it, I started on Ana because I was gonna swap to Ana because we decided to run on that map. On that time we ran Sig Ball instead of Ball instead of Sig Orisa.
Yep.
So if we're choosing to do Ball Sig, I should start on Ana.
If you're doing Ball Sig, you shouldn't even be trying to do the close hold.
I thought
no, afterwards, not from the beginning. Like what do you mean?
So I'm talking about the close hold that you're doing right now. What the comp should be is Las is on Bap, Maddie is on Moira, Sunless is on Mei, Naeem or Tusk is on Ryan, Choose on Orisa, Chase is on Widow. Once the close hold is done and, you know, they finally take possession of the cart, that's when we swap. If you're planning on running double shield, then honestly,
the Ryan double Sig.
If you're running,
also, I think.
Go ahead.
I think the first time we did this, we also ran Chew on Sigma for the close hold. Oh wait, no.
Which
actually,
also is fine.
Wait.
I don't mind that either.
I don't remember. So I think we did. Okay, I think we did Ryan Sig. No, the first time we did it, not with you, and the first time we did it with Jason. I think we did Ryan Sig, and then Ana, Mei, I guess Ashe.
Yeah,
and
you're just not gonna be able to survive
Lucio.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you're not gonna be able to get that close hold and pull it off successfully compared to the comp that I'm saying is because you have more heals, you have more shielding, and Chase is allowed to play as far back as he can, trying to get picks or pressure out, whatever.
so let's say we're doing ball sig second, but after close hold, we do for the close hold we would do Ryan Sig, like Widowmaker, May, and then I would be Ana and Maddie would be Bap or Merce or Lucio or Bap or
If
Moira
you're doing the close hold,
for,
I think
like,
you should
both
just
heals.
stick with this. Afterwards, it doesn't matter
Okay.
what you swap to. You'd still stick with this just because you
like,
still get that
when
heals.
I said we were playing Thorny, so they weren't that good, but like, so we did wall sig and it worked really well, specifically against them because they were like not that good, but it also like I think we're good at that. But okay, so you think we should just stick a double shield on this map?
At least for the
I think
personally,
you-
yeah, I don't think for ball this first point where the camera is right now. I personally think it's like a playground just because there's so many different rollouts you can do. But once you get to the latter half of this map, ball's kind of shit. He doesn't get any good, meaningful pile drives just because he has to do a wall hop for the most part.
I think third point's decent, but second point.
I'm specifically talking about first point. I'm saying the latter half of first point.
Yeah, I got you.
It's just ball's not
okay.
that good. Just because you're not going to be able to get any kind of momentum to go up in the air and get a slam. Getting to high ground is much harder just because when you're on the low ground, there's nowhere to really grapple to in order to get up there unless you're coming from this angle, pointing towards second point attacker spawn. And you'll see where I am. I paused paused right where I said. Oh shit, I paused.
And then for attack, I think we also ran ball sig, like the first time around.
Again, I just think double shield is
think it was-
better. It's more protection against
Okay.
snipers. Choose able to go on a flank without needing to shield your backline, and or at least on Sig. I just think double shield is just better than ball Sig at this point.
I got you.
Yeah. Okay,
Noted.
so I wanted to point this out. Rewind it.
Please move behind the barrier.
Okay. Again, you're looking for this close hold on the cart, delaying as much time as you can. Chase is a big factor in this. As soon as he gets slept and you see the hog throw the hook out, immediately throw lamp out to save him. And as soon as you do, Maddie, that's when you would press amp on speed and you just charge out to help Chase. You're looking to hold the cart as long as possible. You're not trying to win the fight. So if Chase gets caught out like this, just throw lamp out for him so he is able to survive, because if he is, then you're going to be able to survive longer on the point. I mean, May's one of the best stall characters, so.
Sure.
Also, the hog hit a really good combo. It's harder to hit the 250, you get the 250 damage on them. You should be dying on cart since you know this fight is lost. Well, if it is. If you're staying on the BAPs, then definitely save Amp Matrix here. If not, I would throw it out. Honestly, I would even throw it out just because it's easy to charge. But
Okay.
but if you do switch, then yeah, you should have used it.
Not over yet. My turn.
And we didn't. So when we're doing this close hold, everyone needs to die on cart. You do not let that payload get any further. As soon as you know you're losing the fight, everyone dies on cart. No, but don't even start backing up. You stick on cart. You're buying as much time as possible, because now you're staggering. You're all staggering yourself so that you're only going to get another fight as soon as they're right in front of the doors for a full 6. Everyone dying on cart gives you that chance to be able to hold where the Widow is on the screen right now, and be able to hold that first corner, or at least pretty close to that. But yeah, Chu dies, Sunless dies, and we get staggered back, and they are able to roll the cart past that corner that I was talking about.
Fully healed. Observe the barrier.
What the fuck is this ball doing? This was really sloppy from us, but this is about you, not that. Good lamp. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Good, actually, that was a really good amp. Trying to fight with that.
All better for now.
And I also think Chu needs to get better at Rhine, because when you do that first point hold, you want Chu on Sig. You don't want Tusk or Naeem on Sig. And if whoever's on Orisa has Bongo and doesn't use it on that first point, for the close hold, then it should be your main tank that is playing the Orisa, just because on that next fight, if he stays on Orisa, then that's, you want your main tank on his position and not your off tank. So Chu, honestly, Chu just needs to get more comfortable on Rhine.
I mean, if it's for a close hold, it doesn't really matter that much anyways. But...
Right. Yeah. Like, Naeem's not a good Rhine, and he even just needs to be shield bot, and he understands that. Good eat from Naeem. Careful with jumping. I saw the Widow. You should have seen her. As soon as you jumped, she should have been able to hit you.
Amplification matrix charging.
Again, careful with those jumps, especially on a map like this where there's not much cover. Should have lamped that as soon as that hook goes out. That hog, okay, so anytime that the hog is going on like that flank and catching somebody out of position because he did that rotation and made that flank, if somebody gets caught out, yes, that's bad for you guys, obviously, but lamp is an ability that erases mistakes like that. So even if further down the line, you might need lamp for something else, you're still facing that with a full 6 compared to a 5 and a lamp.
Gotcha. Yeah, she had Valk there too, that would have been
Yep.
a good time to use it.
Should have played behind shield, or if you're not playing behind shield at that point, play behind this little water tower where I paused to the left. You can see it right behind the shrubbery. Dude, I died when you popped this voice line. I was like, oh shit, he popped the fucking voice line. Because I remember I remember spectating from like, third person, like above everything, and I heard that voice line go off, and I just started laughing, dude. I was dead.
Dude, it's so good.
It is a good one.
Probably my favorite in the whole game.
It has been just because of that one time.
Oh, in open queue?
Yeah.
I was spamming shit out of it, yeah. It's a good voice line.
Yeah. Stop worrying about crouch spamming and just get up there and heal your tanks. Okay, we also, this isn't just for a hog, this is for literally any flankers. We should know that this doorway is going to be constantly used for flankers. We constantly need to be checking this. Because Maddie it just got picked off for it because nobody is checking this flank. I mean, how many times have you seen somebody just come up this flank and wreck your team because of it?
I think we called it.
No one called it because no one even saw him. I can guarantee it. Yep, and he whole hogs and killed you as well.
I was taken by surprise. Very simple.
That could have gone better.
No one can hide from my sight.
Again, that's another situation where when audio cues like that, make sure you turn around instantly and throw lamp out for her. This one Chase gets the 3K? No, not yet. Oh, yeah, it is.
No, it's...
No, not yet.
No. It's like the second to last hold.
Yeah, you kind of bailed you guys out there, not gonna lie. Don't worry about shooting a Sigma who's nano, just try to pocket Naeem, if not, focus on supports. Other than that, when you're... So actually, let's rewind that just because how you rotated.
That was perfect. Perfect rotation.
Sure. Is that why you died?
I was stalling car, what do you mean?
So...
I don't know where you're at, I have no idea.
Should rewind a little bit more.
I would know. Oh my god, Bap. That's here.
No one can hide from
What time are you on the clock?
121.
Okay,
120.
yeah, I just rewinded it.
Yeah.
Now
139.
So instead of rotating this left way, where the card is now, you don't need to rotate top left because your job is to make sure your tanks are pocketed more than your double snipers. So if you rotate top right instead to go to cart, oh, dude, this Bob from Sunless is actually massive.
Yeah, we had some, and like the stall from like the right room on like the last way where we actually like, won the round. Our tanks was OP.
Yeah,
I didn't think we were gonna be on cart there, but we were.
Yeah, like if that Bob,
they must have been mad about this.
If that Bob doesn't get thrown out to contest cart, you absolutely lose second because nobody's gonna make it back in time enough. So yeah, instead of rotating to this top right, you should be trying to go straight to cart. Not
left?
Straight to cart or straight to your top left, top right on from where I was looking.
Oh yeah.
Instead, from where I. At 132 where I'm looking at right now, that's where you should be playing just because...
Just go to the Mega.
Not the Mega. If you wanted to use Exo Boots and get the high ground, obviously high ground's just going to be better, especially for BAP being able to shoot down. And most of the time your tank should be the one contesting cart. You being up there will be able to, one, allow you to pocket them easier, and you're right on top of them so that let's say they do die, even though you're healing them, you're able to just jump down and touch instead of making the rotation from the top left side, what you did on 2 cart, which allowed you, eventually got you killed. Fuck. So right here, you shouldn't be worried about it, killing the Sig. He's nanoed, you're not going to be able to kill him. If anything, you just turn towards the Ana and try shooting her. Which, I mean, eventually you do get the kill for, but you also die.
I'm on fire.
Fine with the regen burst right there. Weird place for amp just because cart's in the way. Yeah, lamp that. Good. I understand you could have been using it for heals, but Oh, shit.
You hit touchpad, didn't you?
No. I just hit, rewinded it.
Well, it could be worse.
I meant to hit,
I saw you do
2
that.
times speed. I do it at least once a week. Good lamp. Make sure if you can throw it a little bit further out, just because throwing it right there, yes, it did help Sunless, but if you threw it out just a little bit more, it also covers name and allows, you know, invulnerability for a couple seconds before they focus it down to anyone touching card. That is peeking that doorway. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you charge damage looks pretty fast. Not gonna lie. You had that at least as soon as after you died and came back to fight.
Ready for battle.
You know, Anna, there are procedures.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort.
Also, I tried, or like, was checking the like alternating heal and primary fire stuff.
Yep.
It's honestly, I think it's a little harder than it used to be because of the fire rate buff to the primary. Like, it's if you accidentally key it in, it like double primaries instead of because
healing.
it's fire
Yeah.
rate.
Okay.
So I think it's a little bit harder now, but it's still doable, and it feels like it's about the same like heal output as it would be.
Yeah. So
if you're just holding it
so
down.
when you're doing that, just be conscious not to shoot that second burst until you see that next heal nade come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It just honestly, it'd probably just be like getting like the rhythm down of like hitting each trigger
exactly.
or.
I think you can rotate to at least try to get high ground here. For the most part, oh, this is a fat nade. Jesus, that's such a good nade spot. Good flank.
So don't get the kill. Yeah. I was gonna do that.
So when you're at that position, instead of backing up and going to the left how you rotated, go up those stairs and do that same rotation. That way you're still on high ground, but you're rotating the same way.
Okay. Gotcha.
Good sleep. Leave the fucking Orisa asleep.
Alright. Okay, listen. We had like, it was like a 3v1, and I know she was nanoed, but I had her purple too. And she was like half HP.
Still.
So I know Lever slept, like generally, but I was like, it's 3v1. I have nade.
Yeah, but she's nanoed.
She dies.
Okay,
she died in like
still,
1.5 seconds.
Yeah, okay, that Naeem peeled. If Naeem doesn't peel and she gets back up, I guarantee you, if I'm playing that Orisa, I will instantly burn you down.
No, you won't.
Guaranteed, every
You're
time
dog
I
shit.
would have burned you down. Trust me.
You're dog shit.
I might not be good at any aiming character in the world, but Orisa is the one character I can fucking aim on.
See, but if I leave her, then she pops up, and then
Yeah,
what if
after 6-7 seconds, by that time you already capped point and Nano's halfway gone, or more than halfway gone.
Fair. I can. I'm gonna make a rebuttal, but it's. I mean, it's not really the point. It's a fair rebuttal, but
that's fine that you lost that fight. If anything, to nitpick, don't shoot a fucking sleep into the Diva's DM. If anything, melee, just because any kind of animation, some Diva, yeah, for the bait, because any kind of animation like that, Diva players are automatically just gonna pop out DM just to try to block it. Like, honestly, if they would have just matched your double sniper, they probably would have done a shit ton better.
They were
Probably. Chase who? Oh, good try on the sleep. Good nade. Damn. Yeah.
Massive mana.
Like I said, BAP, make sure you're working on your regen burst and using it at the correct time, not just overly using it just because you can use it. I'd say your lamps are good for the most part. I think for some alts you're waiting a little bit too long, at least just like a milliseconds long or too long. But
to use lamp for defense. Wait.
So I'm thinking specifically on tires on King's Row. There's a couple times where if you threw it out maybe a second earlier, or where you threw the lamp, if you threw it like maybe like a foot in front of where you actually threw it, there's a specific time where Maddie wouldn't have died on Zen, because it was like that much out of the range from her.
Oh yeah.
Work on that.
That was kind of my bad though. I pushed up too far, honestly.
When it comes to the alternating fire between the heals and primary, make sure you're trying to get that rhythm down, just to maximize that.
Yeah.
Ana play is fine. It's for the most part, it's just your positioning that needs work for small, tiny things. But I mean, I think that's really all I really saw you on. So yeah, that's all I have. How do you guys like this format compared to one-on-ones?
It's not bad. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but I think it's probably good to have. I think it'd be beneficial to have kind of like in groups, and it would save you time also.
Right.
So I think it'd be better that we do like support. That's our support VOD.
I'm doing that for DPS and support mainly, and then most likely gonna do Name and Tusk in the same one, but that'll just have to be one-on-ones.
I think them together, Name and Jason would get together.
Yeah. But I mean, specifically for you guys on support, if you just look back at this, Zen works for both of you, BAP same thing for both of you, so. Yes, that is all I have.